There's one thing gamers fear more than anything else: video game movie adaptations. The problem with these movies isn't necessarily the films themselves. Oftentimes it's the creative liberties the movie production studios take. This isn't to say that all these reinterpretations were bad. I enjoyed Rampage, even though it was over the top and ridiculous, but one movie has had a cult following ever since its release. The main thing this movie does right is not take itself too seriously. It's a wild movie. Goofy looking CGI, horrible lines, and ridiculous fights. However, the camp is what gives the original its charm. I can watch this movie as a non-gamer and have some idea of the Mortal Kombat universe in a more lighthearted and digestible medium. Now if we contrast this to the new Monster Hunter movie, other than the enemies, the movie feels far removed from the original. In Mortal Kombat, the characters use the abilities they have in the games. But in this abomination, they have tanks and military weaponry. I feel like there is a stigma that gamers are never grateful for movie adaptations, although I think it's fair to voice our discomfort about our favorite games being misrepresented. I'm not a lore expert by any means, and the universe is confusing, but I've more or less played every Mortal Kombat game in the franchise. I love these games, even some of the weird ones. So today, I wanted to get my thoughts on the new movie, and see how it holds up. I'm Berry. If you enjoyed this content, like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Also hit that notification bell, so you'll always see my latest content. Mortal Kombat was decent. It had some strong suits and some weaker elements for me. One thing I appreciated is that it felt like the producers understood the games. The fights in CGI embody the feel of Mortal Kombat well. Every fight scene was gory and over the top. To me, this was the strong suit of the movie. Whenever a character throws a punch or uses a special move, it's really exciting to see that adapted into a movie. Fatalities and jokes also help with having the fans feel involved. The way that they kill off characters was almost a perfect envisioning in a movie medium. One thing that stood out to me was the amount and diversity of characters. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Jax, Sonya, and so many more. You have your main characters and some more indie characters for the more enthusiast fans. I thought this addition was awesome for people who are invested in the universe. It's strange though, because the movie perfectly encapsulates the fighting, but not the lore. A lot of the backgrounds were readapted for the movie, which I personally don't mind, but I imagine it could be a huge gripe for hardcore fans. For me, the biggest thing that hurt the movie was the movie. I felt like the plot and overall story were pretty unengaging for me. I wasn't really invested in the universe, and it didn't feel like the stakes were very high. I found it strange too that the movie seemed more catered towards fans. Someone who's not invested in the universe might be a little confused. It was also strange how the weight and levity of the tournament itself kind of felt like it was on the backdrop. The best way to describe my feelings towards this movie is it felt a little stiff. All the characters felt similar to the games, but more reserved. This is where I think the camp and absurdity of the old movie outshine its newer predecessor. I felt like Sonya was Sonya, and the Kano was Kano. For this, it was hit and miss depending on the characters. This isn't to say that the movie is bad. If you like action and gore, this movie will definitely satisfy you. Overall, I'd say this movie is really enjoyable if you're a casual Mortal Kombat or action fan. I think more hardcore enthusiasts and those who dislike the action genre won't find this movie as enjoyable. Thanks for checking out this video. Let me know down in the comments your general thoughts or feeling about this movie, or any other video game movies. Also, I'd love to hear your list for the best and worst video game adaptations. Thanks, have a good one.